My name is Mr. Whyzguy. We're gonna be watching the former President Donald Trump's CNN town hall with, her on screen. And yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. And you read the title of this little short clip, so we'll just get right into it.
Bobby Petrino has been waiting very patiently. He's a student at St. Anselm. He's a member of College Republicans. He's an undeclared voter right now. He supported you in 2020. Bobby, what's your question for President Trump?
Hi, thank you for coming. This is a bit of a pivot, but with gun violence and mass shootings in the news cycle recently, I'm worried that state governments and the federal government are going to act to repress gun rights. Under your administration, you instructed the Department of Justice and the ATF to ban bump stocks. If elected president again, how would you act not only to defend our Second Amendment rights, but to restore rights that have been taken from us, such as, by example, recently the ATF's ruling on the pistol stabilizing braces?
Yeah, as you know, the bump stock.
That is actually a good question. That's a good critical question for Trump, because he's supposed to be the guy for the Second Amendment, right? But he did ban something from bump stocks, which is a Second Amendment thing. He banned something that wasn't supposed to be. I mean, he banned bump stocks, which is a type of thing that's supposed to be on guns, and guns is in the Second Amendment. That's how everything's connected together. If you didn't connect the dots, I'll connect it for you. I think most people can. I just like explaining it. It's fun. But
Ridiculous.
All right, Trump, how do you respond to that? That's actually good criticism. I'm not talking about all this fake nonsense saying that he's accused of doing this, accused of doing, like, there we go. A policy he put in place that doesn't make sense to what he's supposed to be believing and stuff. But so that's a good question. It's not some fake BS. It's like, I like how a Republican comes out to him is the one that gives out the constructive criticism, like, okay. And then people on the left are like, no, we're just gonna say he raped someone. Yeah, he did. Go to trial. You think he's wrong? Go to trial. Prove it that we're wrong. We're not just making this shit up. 100%. We're definitely not making that shit up. I'm like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Stocks are actually a very unimportant thing. And NRA, I went with them and they said it doesn't mean anything. Or actually, all they do is teach you how to shoot very inaccurately. So we did that. There's been nobody that's protected the Second Amendment, as you know, like I have. I protected it through thick and thin, not easy.
Minus that bump stock ban. But continue.
Easy to do. But we have a very big mental health problem in this country. And again, it's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's the person that pulls the trigger. And we have to protect our Second Amendment.
That is an amazing answer. Good job. Because there's a lot. So, all right. So you got a bow and arrow, right? You load the bow. You put the. I'm gonna give you an analogy. You load the arrow with you load the arrow. You load the bow with an arrow, right? And then you place it on the floor, right? And you point it towards let's say you have a dog. You point it towards your dog, right? All right. You put it on the floor, pointed towards your dog. Your dog sits there. You tell your dog to stay right there. Is your dog gonna die? What's the percentage? What's the percentage chance that your dog is gonna die? 0%. You know why? Because the bow is just sitting there on the ground. No one's touching it. It's pointed towards it. So why is it gonna fire? All right, now replace that bow with the loaded gun. On the floor, no one's touching it. Pointed towards your dog. What's the percentage chance that that dog's gonna die from that gun in that situation? 0. You know why? Because there's no human behind to pull the trigger. So I think banning guns doesn't do anything. We've already done that. People are getting guns illegally. You can say that we're going to put more heavy gun policies out there and then wonder why the bad guys still have guns, because they don't give a shit about our rules and whether we ban shit or not. Like, it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid, the whole, oh, we got to ban guns. It's you just take 2 seconds to think about it, and you realize that that's just not going to, like, people that want to do illegal shit are going to do illegal shit. Whether you ban them or not in the laws, they don't give a crap. Like, what? We're going to ban even more gun legislation. And then they'll just find other loopholes to get guns. And by the way, a lot of it's coming out of the country, so we can put as much legislation as we want. They still come into the country illegally. And then enemies end up getting them. And then that's it. Sucks. Nah, but it's all these citizens here. We gotta legislate all the people that are here, that all the good people that don't want to commit crimes. Yeah, we gotta make sure that it's super hard for them to get guns, because they're the reason why there's all these school shootings and stuff like that, right? 100%, right? Right? No?
Allegedly!
Have to protect ourselves.
Mini rant over.
You dealt with a lot of mass shootings when you were in office. This year, there have already been more than 200 mass shootings in 2023. If you are reelected, are there any new gun restrictions that you would sign into law?
I would do numerous things. For instance, schools, we would harden, very, very much harden. And I'm a very believer. I believe
we should have armed guards on the outside of schools. Or some sort of security on the outside of schools. Because if someone's going to come with a gun and do some illegal shit and some bad shit, why shouldn't we have someone waiting there for them to be like the first line of defense? You see a security guard, it's literally a deterrent. You see a police car sitting in front of the school. That car, even if there's no one in that car itself is a deterrent for people to like, resistance. Let's not go there. And a lot of these school shootings happen in school and gun-free zones. A disproportionate amount of them happen in gun-free zones, which is, well, I wonder why there's so many deaths in gun-free zones when someone that brings a gun, it's almost like it's the only person that has a gun that's able to do a lot of damage at the gun-free zone school. Yeah, that sign did a lot of work. Gun-free zone. Yeah, that sign did so much work to make sure that that school didn't get shot up. It's just so dumb. So stupid. Okay, so you know what I think is kind of disrespectful? Going to someone, looking at them, looking at their stuff, and then leaving without saying anything. Yeah, that's a little bit disrespectful. So I think you should not do that, and leave a comment down below. Thank you. Easily preventable, but no, we don't want guns. We don't want armed security guards. It's like a prison. School's already a prison, man. School is already a prison. Get out of here.